Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. You know, we like to talk about red flags around here quite a lot, right? Because they're a caution. They give us a warning about something that might not be as good as what we expected it to be or might end up going down a path we don't exactly want it to go down. And well, boys and girls, if you thought Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery was really, really bad, well, Xbox decided to say, hold my beer and watch this, because they are already blocking reviews for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, aka their little VR first-person Indiana Jones game, which a lot of the fans took a lot of critiques with, just because of the fact that if you're going to play an Indiana Jones game, wouldn't you actually like to see the character at some point? But all of that being aside, boys and girls, considering the fact that they are not releasing their embargo until literally the day the game releases, well, it looks like it's going to be another hot pile of garbage, disastrous dumpster fire for Xbox. They clearly have no faith in this game whatsoever, and boys and girls, it is absolutely hilarious because this is a huge red flag, and it looks like the next Indiana Jones game was going to be a disastrous, absolute dumpster fire. As you can see over here from fandompulse.substack.com and our dear sweet John F. Trent, Xbox blocking reviews of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle until game goes into advanced access. So yes, boys and girls, those of you out there foolish enough to purchase advanced access, the Platinum Edition on this game for whatever reason, you will actually find out how much of a dumpster fire it is at the exact same time that all of the wonderful critiques out there decide to let all their freak flag fly and let us know exactly what they think about this game. And concerning the fact that Xbox is hiding this out, I'd imagine this is only going to drive sales even further into the ground. And if you got one of them Platinum Editions out there, unless you're some kind of streamer that wants to do this thing first access out there and see exactly how much of a disastrous dumpster fire is, I highly recommend you probably go out there and ask for a refund on that. And if nothing else, remove your little wait and see on that kind of thing, because I'd imagine definitely a good word of caution at this point. Wait till somebody you actually trust reviews this game to see if whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. So we're going to check out this article from fandompulse.substack, but before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, because boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also leave us a comment in the section down below. Were you cautiously optimistic about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Were you excited about it? Did you go out there and pre-order this game? Are you reconsidering that at this point, considering this kind of disastrous dumpster fire? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from our dear sweet John F. Trent, Machine Games, Bethesda Softworks, and Xbox are blocking reviews of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle until the game goes into advanced access. Never a good sign. James Laura at MP First reports that he and the website were given a review copy and that the official embargo to publish reviews of the game does not lift until the game goes into advanced access. Laura wrote, "For those wondering exactly when the review embargo lifts for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, we can confirm that reviews will go live starting December 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So not only are the reviews not being able to come out until the game that comes out and releases, but literally late in the evening after the game has already been out for the majority of the day. Methinks Xbox has no faith in this game whatsoever. What say you, boys and girls? To be clear, according to Steam support, Advanced Access is not a unique model of development for a game. It's simply an opportunity to play the game before it fully releases on Steam. And a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have done that, whether intentionally or accidentally. I mean, I accidentally bought the Hogwarts Legacy Platinum Edition or whatever the big fancy version was, Deluxe Edition or whatever. I didn't even realize I was going to get access to it 2 days early. That just became a surprise. I just wanted to buy the extra edition to make that game even more successful because it made all the right people mad. And honestly, I ended up loving the game. So hey, it worked out well for all of us. And the official Steam page for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle makes it clear that the game will go into advanced access 3 days ahead of full release for anyone who purchased the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Premium Edition. Given the game's release to everyone else who does not purchase the Premium Edition on December 8th, it means that advanced access begins on December 5th, the same day the review embargoes will be lifted. Now see, dun dun dun, there it is, boys and girls. The fact that the game is not allowing reviews to go live until the game goes into advanced access is likely not a good sign for the game's quality and content. The game already does not appear to be shaping up well sales-wise. Despite the game going into advanced access in just 3 days, the game is currently just 179th on Steam's top seller list. Furthermore, the game only has 43,585 total followers. It is the 26th on Steam's most wishlist upcoming Steam games. So literally no one is even even interested in this game from the very beginning over there. I mean, 43,000, that is abysmally bad. I mean, you've got a Lord of the Rings, you've got Nuclear Nightmare, you got Factora, Space Age, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. I mean, all of this stuff is seriously way over. I mean, Age of Mythology Retold was beating out an Indiana Jones game. This just shows you how much of a disastrous dumpster fire. Not only is all things Disney in right now, because this is a Disney property, right? That's what they bought. Lucasfilm, they got Indiana Jones, they own all of that kind of nonsense right now. This just shows you the abysmal state of the Indiana Jones franchise, what Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else over there at Disney has done to this, because this is something back in the day. Indiana Jones games were beloved by a lot of people out there. Everybody wanted to take their chance at being the crazy whip snapping with the fancy hat, out there kind of archaeologist doing the real things. And it's so much fun to play a lot of those games. Now you've got this weird thing that literally looks like it was meant for VR more than anything else. And it's coming out on a Microsoft platform out there. Like, this is not looking good at all, boys and girls. This thing is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. And I'm sure Disney and Microsoft spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this game, all to have it literally melt down right before their eyes, which is another reason why they are hiding early reviews of this game. They know it's bad, and they are trying to make sure they are trying to lessen the impact as much as they possibly can. And guess what? It's not going to work. This game is going to flop. For comparison, Dragon Age the Veilguard, which is another disastrous dumpster fire, had 68,379 total followers 10 days before it went on sale on October 31st. Veilguard also happened to be listed as 46th on Steam's top sellers, and it was 28th in wishlist. A retail insider had previously shared with Fandom Pulse that the game had sold 86% less pre-orders compared to Dragon Age the Veilguard as well. That's not good. The game's premium edition has been ordered a total of 208 times back on November 19th, but of those 208 pre-orders, a total of 162 have already been canceled. That brought the total pre-order count down to just 162. I think they've got their math a little bit backwards on that one, but needless to say, that is a whole lot of people that took one look at some of these trailers and went, yep, nope, not so much anymore. As for the standard version of the game, it's been pre-ordered 129 times, but 34 of those have been canceled. That brings the total to 94. Overall, the game has only a total of 257 pre-orders. That is absolutely abysmal, boys and girls, because as we've talked about in the past, with one of these AAA game studios, you have to sell at minimum 5 million copies in order to break even. A true success is somewhere between that and 10 million copies, depending on how much they spent on this game. And considering this is Microsoft, considering this is Indiana Jones, you bet that's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And boys and girls, it'll be a miracle. It'll be a miracle at this point if that thing sells 1 million copies, probably more likely around the 500,000 mark. And even then, this is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. Microsoft is going to lose a buttload of money. Good job, Xbox. How's this one going to work out for you? The game has also raised a number of red flags. The game's senior narrative designer, Edward Curtis Civies, who wore an LGBTQ plus Alphabet Soup Mafia shirt, detailed that the game was made for a modern audience during a promotion for the game back in January. He said, "Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience." Oh, there's another one of our red flags, and we always know how well that works out for us, don't we? Lucasfilm's Game Craig Derrick also described Indiana Jones' new companion for the game, Gina Lombardi, as Jones's intelligent equal. Oh, yes, it's going to be girl boss nonsense, just like we saw in the movie, and yada, yada, yada. Everything's going to be abysmally bad. This thing is going to be an absolute dumpster fire, and guess what? It's exactly what Xbox deserves. All of these little psychopaths out there decide to hire a bunch of woke activists, a bunch of DEI-driven, nonsense crazy people out there, and now all of this stuff is turning into a disastrous dumpster fire. And why wouldn't it? Because all of these cultists worship at their idol and care more about that than they do anything else. They will literally sacrifice everything else on that altar if they are true believers. And you bet their butt when they concentrate on DEI kind of nonsense garbage and injecting it into a game, everything else about that game suffers. We saw what happened with Star Wars Outlaw. That was a game that was specifically DEI, baby, Sweet Baby Inc. connected, all that kind of infused nonsense. It was literally a Han Solo story minus Han Solo Solo. And guess what? It was all, they uglified the beautiful, gorgeous voice actors for that game. And then they decided to end up going, oh, well, it'll be great because it's Wham and Power and all those wonderful folks out there will buy it up because we're the new thing, a hot thing, and everybody loves it. And guess what? They bet so much on that they gave you a broken and buggy game to this day that does not operate properly the way it was promised at launch. And it has cost that company, it has cost Ubisoft hundreds of millions of dollars. And guess what? Xbox is facing the exact same thing with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Because the only great circle that this Indiana Jones game is going to end up is the garbage bin, boys and girls, because this is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire on launch. No one's interested in this game. The trailers didn't do very well. This gameplay, this whole idea of a gameplay mechanic of playing first person in an Indiana Jones game obviously is not going to go over very well with a lot of Indiana Jones fans out there. And then, of course, you have all of the exact same kind of nonsense DEI talking points coming out of everybody involved in this game. So why would we think it's going to be anything better than another hot pile of steaming garbage like what you have seen almost throughout the entirety of 2024. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Star Wars Outlaws. We already know that they put, Concord, Dustborn. All of these things over and over again. Last year we had, of course, Saints Row and all of that kind of stuff that happened. Every single one of these situations where we hear about diversity, inclusion, and equity and all being made for a modern audience, it ends up leading to the exact same place every time. A broken and buggy game that no one wants, that costs these companies hundreds of millions of dollars. And congratulations, Xbox. You hired these people. You decided to get in bed with these psychopaths, with these cultists, because you were convinced it was going to be the new hot thing. And guess what? It's blown up in your faces. And hey, you get exactly what you deserve.